Okay, so you've been told this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Now you're black, you're a minister, and you're gay.
Yeah.
You had to find some research that you've had to preach the message. You've had to have ministered to say, good, and this is why you are not gay. And this is why gay is good. See, gay is good. You've had to have one of those messages. You've had to. Because you've turned your whole, you've been told this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Where's what was the message? What, give us some scripture. Give us something we can open. I do this thing on my Facebook page where I have an Open Your Book Bible challenge. Because I challenge people to open their Bibles and look into it. I like to challenge people to live based on what's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Live on the principles so they can stand on something. Have you ever preached a message about talking about this? And if so, what was that message like?
So, I've actually, and if you check out the article that was published in The Root, I spent years preaching against homosexuality because that's what I was supposed to do as a minister of God. I've been in ministry up before audiences, ministering since I was 13 years old. And I've always, followed what everybody else did, right? This is wrong. That is wrong. I thought I was Mr. Holy Roller. My friends will tell you. I was Mr. Holier than thou. So I damned a lot of people to hell. And I did. It was terrible. I was like Paul. I was crucifying Christians. My great transition happened as I got older, more mature, and more connected to the love of God. And I couldn't figure out why God would not take this thing away from me. It was a daily prayer. Woke up, remove it. Went to sleep, remove it. Woke up, remove it. I cried on many altars, poured oil many a times on myself, went on fast, consecrations. God, why won't you take this thing away? If you're that powerful, if you're that strong, you're that mighty, Paul talks about a thorn in the flesh, things that will never go away. I don't believe that being gay is a thorn, right? Because there are too many people who identify in the GLBT community for this to be, a thorn in our flesh. And so wondering why God wouldn't remove it. I was depressed. I was sad. Didn't even know it. I was a walking depression for years because I had a lot of straight friends, and all of them were getting married, having kids. And when that happens, your boy group kind of separates because everybody's with their parents. So I was being left alone. Come hang out, guys. It's just me. So I was getting sad, and everybody's like, "You're next. You're next. You're gonna get married next." I'm like, if I get married, you probably wouldn't come to the wedding. But I was laying in the bed and I was depressed. I was sad and my skin had started changing colors. I went to the doctor. I was like, Lord, what did I catch? The doctor said, he said, you need a new job. He said, you're really stressed and it's coming through your skin. And I was like, well, I love my job. So I know it's not my job. I know what it was. Every day I'm asking God to remove this sin so that I can be normal like everybody else. And God wasn't moving and delivering as I wanted. And I was laying in bed sad and heard the voice of God say, whoever is supposed to love you will love you, and whoever doesn't just won't. Get up and be who I called you to be. And I knew exactly what God was talking about, and I started crying and went through the process of telling, family and friends, most of which everybody already knew. And everybody, welcomed me with open arms. Had some issues with a few family members. But from there, a couple months, when I would share my story in small levels, So we have a men's conference every year in Washington, D.C., about 100 something Black men from all different facets and walks of life. And I shared my story, and almost half the room was in tears. And I said, wow, this is a powerful story. Didn't know. Shared my story at a school. Had students coming up to me telling me that they were gay and they don't know how to tell their parents and what do they do. That happened so much. I was like, wow, I did not know this many people struggle with this. And that's when I wrote the article. And after that, my story just elevated everywhere. And I recently spoke at the Women's March right after Trump was elected. And it was about 25,000 people out there. It was 10,000 or so in the stadium, and then the rest were in the streets, flooded. And most people said that was the best speech of the day. And I spoke about loving any and everybody, gay, straight, bi, Black, Muslim, Christian, Hindu. I mean, we all have to work together. So I don't specifically talk about, being gay. I speak about being love, and that love covers a multitude, and that love doesn't consider gay, straight, bi, transgender. That love is for everybody.
Okay, and do you have a church or you have a church?
So I started an organization mainly because I was a part of a lot of ministries. I was vice chair of a board of a ministry I helped start while I was in college. I was chair of a board of my friend's church in Carolina, and I was an elder in a local church here in Miami. And I met with all those pastors before I came out to let them know that this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing. And we were all friends. So they totally understood. And I said, I'm stepping down because I don't want to bring any scandal or shame to your church. I don't want you to have to throw me out. We're friends first before anything. And actually my pastor and mentor in Tallahassee had me in tears because he said, I love you no matter what. You've always been my brother no matter what. Don't be afraid to live your life in front of me. If you meet somebody, I want to meet them too, because you're my little brother. And when I tell you I cried like a baby
Mm-hmm.
to be accepted like that from a straight identifying man who is also a pastor. But I stepped down from those ministries because I didn't want to bring shame, but people still wanted me to actively minister and, do their wedding. Not licensed. So I started the Just Love Center, which works to advocate for people of all races and genders to operate in love. And through the Just Love Center, I am able to, perform weddings and minister and advocate and stand before, commissioners and during commissions meetings and advocate for the LGBTQ community and the Black community. So yes, I founded the Just Love Center, which is right now just an online community.
Okay, and you keep saying LGBTQT?
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
GLBQT. G is gay, L is lesbian, B is bisexual, T is transgender, and Q is queer.
What's a queer?
Yep. So,
because we used to say it growing up. I know it sounds a little silly, but we used to say it in school. Oh, you're queer. Like, what is that?
No, when you said what's a queer, that was just because that was used in school to talk about gay people. Oh, he's queer, but in the technical term, a queer is someone who is either the Q is either used for queer or questioning. It's somebody that's trying to figure out, really don't know what it is yet. There are some straight identifying men who are very feminine, right? They're not gay. They don't like to sleep with men, but they just are very feminine. And they might identify in the queer section. They might like to wear nail polish. They might, just do very, very feminine things. So queer it has a number of definitions, but that kind of pretty much sums it up. I identify as queer, as I'm a part of this community, not really defined with what I am yet, but I'm queer.
Okay.
Dental problems don't get better the longer you wait. They just get worse and more expensive. The #1 dental plan in America today guarantees to save you 20 to 80% on all dental procedures you can get done in the dental office. Regular teeth cleanings all the way up to cosmetic dentistry. No waiting periods. Contact a benefit consultant immediately to find out what open enrollment specials are available in your state today. 888-674-9409.